Talk about perfect timing. Metro North's Siemens Charger locomotives are entering service just as Climate Week gets underway. Funded by MTA's capital program and federal support, they're proof that investment in public transit pays off. All better reliability is on the way. So, what does this mean for commuters and the future of sustainable travel? Let's find out together in today's ride of great train speed. Metro North's 2024 annual ridership report highlights a strong rebound in regional rail use, with total annual ridership reaching approximately 67.4 million trips. This represents a significant increase of 7.2 million over the 60.1 million rides recorded in 2023, translating to 12.0% growth in just 1 year. Despite this impressive recovery, ridership still stands at 77.8% of 2019's pre-pandemic total, showing that while gains are notable, there remains room for continued recovery. East of Hudson service, which includes the Hudson, Harlem, and New Haven lines, carried about 66.3 million passengers in 2024, reflecting the bulk of Metro North's growth and highlighting the system's central role in connecting communities across the metropolitan region. On the other hand, west of Hudson service registered about 1.1 million rides, a smaller share overall, but still a healthy 7% increase compared to 2023, demonstrating that recovery is taking place across the network as a whole. In addition to the core rail services, Metro North's connecting services experienced strong growth in 2024, with combined ridership on the Hudson Rail Link, Haverstraw-Ossining Ferry, and Newburgh Beacon Ferry reaching roughly 329,000 trips. This marked an 18.0% increase from 2023, showing the growing importance of multimodal connections that provide riders with seamless first and last mile access. Looking ahead into 2025, Metro North continues to see encouraging trends. By June of that year, ridership had already reached 34.3 million, which is 6.1% higher than the same point in 2024. This steady growth emphasizes not only the resilience of commuter patterns, but also the effectiveness of efforts to attract riders back to the system. Financial performance has strengthened as well, with revenues reaching $479.0 million by mid-2025, providing essential resources for reinvestment into infrastructure, rolling stock, and service improvements. However, these gains must be considered alongside the fact that ridership still lags behind pre-COVID benchmarks, particularly the record levels of 2019. With ridership on the rise, Metro North Railroad is gearing up for a major transformation. And this isn't just any minor adjustment, it's a change big enough to redefine the system. So, what exactly is coming next with this new locomotive? In the next part, we'll uncover what the Metro North leadership has in store for riders and the future of the railroad. If you find this exciting, don't forget to hit that subscribe button to stay updated with the latest news from our channel. Metro North Railroad has proudly rolled out its very first Siemens Charger locomotives into passenger service on the Hudson Line. This is an electrifying debut that fittingly coincides with the start of Climate Week NYC. These powerful state-of-the-art 4,200 horsepower dual-mode locomotives aren't just another fleet upgrade, they represent a bold leap forward in reliability, sustainability, and performance. Backed by crucial funding from previous MTA capital plans and the Federal Transit Administration, the arrival of the Chargers is a moment charged with hope and momentum. These gleaming locomotives slash air pollutants by an astonishing 85%, meeting the toughest U.S. Environmental Protection Agency Tier 4 standards and breathing cleaner air into the communities they serve. With an extra 1,000 horsepower over the old fleet, the Chargers roar with strength while whispering with efficiency, embodying both raw power and environmental responsibility. On board, advanced monitoring and diagnostic systems promise a new era of reliability, allowing crews to detect and resolve issues faster than ever before. In 2021, Metro-North Railroad ordered 27 new dual-mode charger locomotives from Siemens Mobility, known as Model SC 42DM. These trains can run on both diesel power and third-rail electric power, which means they can serve all of Metro-North's non-electric routes and then switch to electricity when running on electrified sections, including into Grand Central Terminal. The purchase was paid for through the MTA's 2015 to 2019 and 2020 to 2024 capital plans, with extra funding from the Federal Transit Administration. The locomotives are being built at Siemens' factory in Sacramento, California, and will be delivered to Metro-North through 2027. As we all can see from the first picture showing the appearance of the new locomotive, the exterior of this Metro-North locomotive immediately commands attention, making it the true centerpiece of its design. Cloaked in a bold, deep blue livery, the bodywork radiates both modernity and authority, setting it apart from the traditional silver trains long associated with the region. Its smooth, streamlined shell flows seamlessly from front to rear, projecting speed and efficiency even when standing still. The front nose, sharply contoured with a futuristic, almost predatory stance, is accented by sleek, angular headlights that resemble a pair of focused eyes cutting through the landscape. Every detail on the exterior has been crafted to balance aesthetics with function. The polished stainless steel framing adds a touch of refinement, while the vibrant red and blue mechanical coupler system at the base provides a flash of industrial power, reminding onlookers of the locomotive's raw strength. The MTA insignia, proudly displayed on the sides, and the American flag decal on the nose reinforce a sense of civic identity and pride. Even the clean, uninterrupted paintwork enhances its striking appearance, turning the train itself into a rolling symbol of progress. Now, the new generation changes everything. They can glide under electric power for the full 102 miles of Metro-North's third rail territory, stretching gracefully across the Hudson, Harlem, and New Haven lines. As a traveler or train user, do you think this new locomotive will be wisely used all over America? Drop 1 if you think that will be possible, and 0 if you think differently.
On all 6 Super Express trains from Poughkeepsie.
The debut of Metro-North's new Siemens Charger dual-mode locomotives was not just a milestone for the railroad, but also a clear reflection of how government leaders, agencies, and industry partners align to deliver public benefit. MTA Chair and CEO Janno Lieber emphasized the political dimension by connecting the project to climate policy, declaring that public transit is the antidote to climate change. His remarks tied the fleet upgrade directly to broader state and national commitments on environmental sustainability, showing that transit investment is inseparable from climate action. Elected officials, too, framed the locomotives as the product of responsible governance. Representative Pat Ryan called the project a transformative investment for cleaner air and reliability, while State Senator Peter Harcum highlighted the fiscal prudence of replacing decades-old engines to cut maintenance costs. Their endorsements reinforced the message that taxpayer-backed infrastructure spending delivers tangible returns for communities. At the same time, the MTA highlighted its partnerships with U.S.-based manufacturers, noting that the locomotives are on time, on budget, and American-made. Siemens Mobility President Tobias Bauer portrayed the rollout as proof of the shared vision between private industry and public agencies. By stressing both the domestic supply chain and long-term performance, his comments resonated with policymakers focused on job creation, resilience, and accountability. Finally, the ceremony's dedication of a plaque to Lou Holmes, the late MTA project director who led the procurement, served as a reminder of the human side of government service, where expertise, commitment, and institutional stewardship shape the outcomes that riders and taxpayers ultimately experience. With the debut of Metro-North's Siemens Charger locomotives, online conversations have revealed a wide spectrum of passenger opinions. On the enthusiastic side, many riders expressed pure excitement, calling the trains outstanding and so nice. Some even joked that their taxes finally paid off with something worthwhile, eager to hop aboard and wishing the locomotives could also run on the Long Island Railroad. Yet a sense of nostalgia surfaced as well. For longtime commuters, the retirement of the P-32s feels bittersweet. The familiar engines and their distinctive horns had become part of daily life, and a few riders admitted they'll miss those early morning wake-up calls. Others voiced caution, pointing to mechanical issues experienced with similar locomotives in other states and urging Metro North to stay vigilant. Meanwhile, skeptics dismissed the new fleet entirely, branding the Chargers as garbage or junk, no better than what other commuter lines already run. Altogether, the feedback shows excitement mixed with nostalgia and concern, a reminder that while new technology can inspire hope, passengers ultimately want proven reliability to back up the fresh look.
Thank you for riding Metro North to work this morning.
You did it to save time.
America has always dreamed of fast, modern trains, and New York is taking the next big step. For years, this route has faced problems, especially with delays and derailments. As a result, the Metropolitan Transportation Authority, MTA, is getting ready to bring in brand new electric trains, aiming to make travel smoother and faster for millions of residents. It's part of a bigger push to upgrade how America moves. All these new trains should roll in near the future, changing their daily ride for the better. Want to see how this American train dream is coming to life? Let's find out in today's episode of Great Trainspeed. Breaking news came on June 25th. The MTA Metro-North Railroad offered New Yorkers a first look at the future of rail travel, releasing renderings of the new M9A railcars, both inside and out. These sleek, bright, and modern designs, featuring larger windows, cleaner lines, and updated LED displays, signal the MTA's ongoing commitment to modern, reliable, and accessible transportation for daily riders. The cars will be built by Alstom Transportation, a global leader in rail manufacturing which secured the contract over China's CRRC during the competitive bidding process. Originally proposed by Bombardier before Alstom's acquisition of its rail business in 2021, the project benefits from continuity and Alstom's proven track record in rail modernization. The $2.3 billion contract will provide 160 M9A cars for the LIRR and 156 for Metro North, with options for up to 242 additional cars to support future ridership growth. This investment aligns with the MTA's long-term capital strategy to modernize regional rail infrastructure. These M9A cars will deliver high-end amenities, improved accessibility, and advanced onboard systems designed for smoother rides and better energy efficiency, aligning with New York's sustainability goals. For riders familiar with the older M3 and M7 trains, the difference will be immediately noticeable. While the older cars are boxy and show decades of heavy service, the M9A cars represent a monumental leap forward, reflecting America's broader push for cleaner, faster, and more comfortable train travel. Once in service, the M9A cars will operate on the electrified sections of the Long Island Railroad and on the Hudson and Harlem lines of Metro North, expanding capacity and replacing outdated equipment. As New York continues to evolve, these new trains will help ensure that the region's rail system keeps pace with the city's growing and changing transportation needs. The MTA's Finance Committee has approved the purchase of 316 new M9A electric multiple-unit rail cars for the Long Island Railroad and Metro North Railroad. Under this plan, pilot cars will be delivered in 2029, with the first units entering Long Island service by 2030 and full fleet delivery targeted by 2032. This phased rollout is designed to replace the over 40-year-old M3 cars while expanding capacity to meet growing demand, including continued operations at Grand Central Madison and future system upgrades. So, how did everyday New Yorkers respond to this change? Did they get behind it and show their support? You're about to find out in the next part. But hey, before we spill the tea, hit subscribe so you're always in the loop on what's happening on the rails.
Whether it's work, whether it's school, or you're heading out to play, ladies and gentlemen, have a pleasant good day.
The new M9A trains are finally here, and riders are buzzing with excitement. Thank God, it's about time, one person wrote, and honestly, it's a sentiment many share after years of waiting for upgrades on New York's commuter rail. The first thing you notice? They look wider, sleeker, and fresher than the older fleets, even being compared favorably to Canada's GO trains. Some riders are hoping this visual width means wider, more comfortable seats, like on the New Haven line, making that daily grind a bit less of a squeeze. But it's not just about looks. These M9As carry the hopes of riders who dream of a quieter, more civil commute, capturing the daily frustrations that these new trains, with their better sound insulation and smoother rides, might help ease. Others wish the MTA had added LED destination screens on the front and sides, colored by the line in operation, to help tourists and occasional riders easily spot where the train is heading without squinting at tiny paper signs. It's a small detail, but one that shows how even the best upgrades still leave room for improvement. Then there's the debate around six-seaters, with one rider bluntly saying, "Get rid of the six-seater and just put those seats back to back." To make matters worse, when Governor Hochul announced the buying of the M9A trains, she received the multiple negative comments. One was addressing the crime problem on the NYC subway, saying, "Improve transit? There were 34 murders in the subway between 2005 and 2021. Another said, "How about you deal with all the crime on the NYC subway? It's just getting worse." One commenter with less dramatic issue saying, "The homeless just got brand new toilets." Or, "Can there be windows that don't glaze over after 2 years?" It's a reminder that while new trains are exciting, rider comfort and space remain ongoing challenges. Yet, amidst the cheers and critiques, one question hangs in the air. Are we finally catching up to China? It's both hopeful and sobering. Reminding us, while the M9A marks a leap forward for the MTA, there's a long way to go in building a system that's fast, clean, and truly modern. So, is the MTA preparing for this new train? To welcome the new M9A, the MTA has launched a series of projects to improve quality, on-time performance, and safety for passengers. It's easy to be skeptical after years of delays, but the numbers now tell a different story. These efforts are showing results. An article recently revealed that in 2025, the MTA's Long Island Railroad and Metro North Railroad achieved record on-time performance and strong ridership growth. On March 9th, Metro North hit 100% on-time performance across all lines. Its 21st perfect day since 2023. Meanwhile, the LIRR year-to-date on-time rate stands at nearly 97%, exceeding both its goals and previous records. Metro North achieved 99% on-time performance, with ridership climbing 13.8% from the previous week. The Long Island Railroad set a 96.4% record for February, with lines like Port Washington reaching 98.7% on-time performance. In January, Long Island Railroad ridership was up 11.2% year over year, now at 85% of 2019 pre-pandemic levels. Ridership growth wasn't limited to one category. Monthly and weekly ticket use rose by over 17%, while city ticket use increased by nearly 16%. These aren't just numbers. They represent thousands of New Yorkers choosing reliable public transit over driving, confident that the train will get them to work, school, or home on time. Officials credit safe, clean, and reliable service as the driver of this growth, positioning Long Island Railroad and Metro North as national leaders in commuter rail performance. Importantly, during this period, there were no derailments, emphasizing the effectiveness of safety initiatives alongside operational improvements. At the end of the day, these new M9A trains are more than just fresh paint and fancy lights. They're about fixing what's been broken for so long. It's a big step for the city, and it shows what can happen when we decide to invest in better transit. The best part? This isn't just a promise anymore. It's finally happening. And that's it for today. Thanks for tuning in, subscribe, and we will see you next time.